Hello and welcome to season 3 of the podcast show Candid Talks with BharatV. और मैं हूं आपका दोस्त भरत वत्सा, द होस्ट ऑफ द शो। और इस सीजन की शुरुआत हम करने जा रहे हैं विद अवर गेस्ट स्पीकर शिल्पा बालाकृष्णन, द फीमेल सोलो बाइकर फ्रॉम मुंबई who attempted the 90 days long Trans-Himalayan Conquest ride on her Domino bike in 2021.
Please do listen to the episode till the end. Before we begin, please do not forget to subscribe to this podcast channel and you can connect on Facebook page at CANDID TALKS with BharatV.
सीजन 3 के इस पॉडकास्ट सीरीज में हम जानेंगे शिल्पा की हिमालयन कॉन्क्वेस्ट की कहानी, उनकी जुबानी।
You are listening to CANDID TALKS with BharatV.
So let's welcome Shilpa Balakrishnan.
Hi, I'm Shilpa Balakrishnan, एक मोटरसाइक्लिस्ट जिसे घूमना बहुत पसंद है, who loves to travel a lot, at least in my country, और आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं only on Candid Talks with BharatV.
Hi Shilpa, how are you doing?
Hi Bharat, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great as well.
Nice to connect with you.
Same here. I know it's been pending for quite long now, and finally we got this chance to connect and cover your entire story of Himalayan Conquest, which you did in 2021. So, Shilpa, if you can, let us know before we actually start talking about your this ride experiences. If you can tell our audience something about yourself first, and I know I might be sounding like I am taking your interview, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, but if you can just tell something about yourself, आप कहाँ से belong करते हो, where do you, in which city you are based out of, and how did you get into biking? वो एक सबसे बड़ा एक सवाल है जो जिसका आंसर हम लोग जानना चाहेंगे।
Sure, definitely. Like when I do some interviews, I tell them I'm going to start with this HR question of tell me something about yourself.
Okay.
So yeah, something about myself. I'm Shilpa Balakrishnan. You know my name, of course, and I'm from Mumbai. I've done a lot of jobs. I used to work in the corporates. I worked there for 25 years, and then biking happened not almost simultaneously, but over the period of time. So I started in 2004, or rather, I learned in 2003 and started riding around in 2004. Office से घर, घर से office, very typical. And फिर वही अपना लोनावाला ride होता था. Come back.
तो उस टाइम आपके पास कौन सी बाइक हुआ करती थी?
मैंने मेरे फ्रेंड का बाइक यूज किया था, उसके पास स्प्लेंडर थी, तो स्प्लेंडर पे घूमती थी. Then I bought another bike in 2000. I mean, I bought my own bike in 2005. I bought a Unicorn जो फर्स्ट मॉडल था, तभी इंट्रोड्यूस किया था. So I bought that, जो अभी भी है मेरे पास.
अच्छा, okay.
हाँ, and it is doing still well. Thankfully, and now I use it to train other people.
Unicorn आपका वो it's from Honda, right? It's Honda Unicorn.
Yes, it's Honda. Yeah, at that time वो joint venture उन लोग ने तभी just break किया था हीरो के साथ.
Okay.
And they started giving their own bikes.
Okay.
तो वो time पर. And then so from 2004 I have been actively riding to a lot of places. तो अभी कुछ 18+ years हो गया since I've started riding. And how it happened, I don't think. I just think it was fated for me. ऐसे ही घूमते घूमते मेरे फ्रेंड ने एक दिन बोल दिया चल उतर अभी तू चलाना शुरू कर, and that's how it started. So after a long argument,
जब चलाया तो गिरे उसमें या नहीं, और या बैठे और किक मारी और चला लिया?
मैं कभी भी सीखने के टाइम पे नहीं गिरती हूँ, सीखने के बाद गिरती हूँ.
Okay, I think that I think it happens with every rider at some point of time. वो बोलते हैं ना कि जब तक आप गिर के उठोगे नहीं, जब तक कि आप सीखोगे नहीं. So
True, very true.
I think it is there in every rider's life. Okay.
Correct.
So then how did you come up with this idea of I know you have done many other long rides earlier also, and उसके बारे में फिर कभी आराम से बात करेंगे, but in this series of podcast we will cover your entire experience जो आपने ये ट्रांस हिमालयन राइड की थी. तो ये करने के लिए आपको कैसे आइडिया है कि that I should be doing this?
So of course, a lot of people love Himalayas, not only me. एक इंट्रिग था कि हिमालय, when you say mountains calling,
Yeah.
it literally means mountains calling. It is not कि आपने बाइक उठाया और चल पड़े. Yes, lot of people over the years have gone to Ladakh and now it has become very common and all that. And people अब मजाक उड़ाना भी शुरू कर दिया कि mountains calling कुछ नहीं होता. It's just that you people want to go so you all are going. But I still believe in this कि if something has to happen, no matter what you do, it will happen. तो ये हिमालयस का भी यही था कि काफी टाइम से आई यूज्ड टू लिसन फ्रॉम वेरियस पीपल, अरे मैं ये पास पे गया था, वो पास पे गया था, आई डिड दिस, आई डिड दैट, आई वांट. तो and then I saw someone, they had hit the highest passes and all that and हाँ, अभी जो नया निंगला पास जो रोड बन गया है, उसके बाद बहुत लोगों का they started propagandas around it. हम लोग इधर जाके आ. I know it's not an easy task to go there and come back and all that.
Yeah.
So I mean all these things and a lot of other things put an intrigue into me to discover Himalaya the way it is. It's not it's not a plaything to be in the mountains for longer period of time. हम लोग 15 दिन में जाके आ जाते हैं, लद्दाख जाके आ जाते हैं, लेकिन वो अपने बॉडी पे कितना तकलीफ देता है, मेंटली कितना स्ट्रेस देता है. एंड लॉट ऑफ when you are continuously there, you need to have lot of self motivation to be there alone. So I wanted to test my own ability, my own endurance, कि मैं ये कर पाऊंगी क्या नहीं, and किस हद तक मैं कर पाऊंगी इस चीज को.
Okay.
How much can I break my own barrier and move forward to do something? Not to show off to anyone. It was something that I wanted to do, like what you would say, a meditation or something. Maybe I wanted to discover something inside me.
Okay.
So that's why I pushed it out there.
आजकल वैसे भी एक काफी जोर शोर से चल रहा है ना वो break the bias, and for the women riders, and then many women riders, they are trying to ride for this with this slogan, break the bias. But it's good to see that many women riders are coming up, and I myself I have been of this opinion, and मैं खुद encourage करता हूँ बहुत सारे ऐसे women riders को. इनफैक्ट मैंने कुछ लोगों को सिखाया भी है, अपने ग्रुप में ऐड भी कराया उनको कि भाई एनकरेज किया, मोटिवेट किया कि भाई राइड करो. So as you rightly said, I mean it's a kind of a meditation, so obviously for sure. But जब आपने ये सोचा, आपके दिमाग में ऐसा कुछ ख्याल नहीं आया कि यार see, because normally अगर हम लोग as a riders भी हम लोग जाते हैं, if we plan for Ladakh ride or Spiti ride, जो कि which is a dream of every biker by the way, और वहाँ जाने के लिए हम लोग प्रिपरेशन करते हैं, because there are so many off roads that you get during that in that particular route. और कई जगह तो इतना ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट टेरेन होता है, जैसे मैंने स्पीति किया था, वहाँ पर कोई भी it was basically there was no road, and that is supposed to be one of the most treacherous road in the entire world. तो वैसे करने के लिए, और आप अगर ग्रुप में जाते हैं तो आपको एक मेंटली कहीं ना कहीं रहता है कि हाँ ओके देयर इज समबडी, अगर कल को कुछ हो जाता है तो कुछ हेल्प के लिए कोई ना कोई तो है. आपने ये अकेले करने की सोची तो आपके माइंड में ऐसा कुछ आया नहीं कि यार वहाँ पे अगर कल को कुछ मुझे हेल्प की जरूरत पड़ गई या कुछ है, हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू मैनेज?
You are listening to Candid Talks with BharatV.
Honestly, ये ख्याल आते हैं, आई एम नॉट सेइंग नहीं आते हैं, If I say नहीं आता है, then I am dumb, I am not human. So you always feel कि yes, there should be someone, especially when you take that fall, especially when you're on a road where you know no one is going to come here.
Yeah.
मतलब यहाँ पे एक परिंदा ने पर मारा है तो भी बहुत बड़ी बात है.
Yeah.
You know, you do feel. I won't say I'm not scared at all. Of course, I'm scared. Like I mean, if I can say in the local language, मेरी भी फटती है. So this happens. But like I said, you know, this is where you test yourself on how much you can sustain yourself on such terrains, and how much can it. This is not physical test; it's a mental test.
Absolutely.
Of how far you can sustain and stay sane in such a situation.
Yeah.
And there have been such situations in this entire ride many a times, which we will
Talk about.
which I will narrate when I come to it. But yes, that is the very thing why I started this. I knew this would be a super challenging thing that I'm going to do. Challenging for me because I do not compare myself with any bikers. The reason is हर बाइकर का अपना एक स्टोरी है. एंड आज मैंने अगर समझो यहाँ से मतलब सपोज मुंबई टू पुणे राइड किया आज मैंने, would be very easy for me. Yeah, maybe I may do it 100 times. It will be very easy for me.
Right.
But 101st time, it may not be easy. Maybe I had a breakdown. Maybe I had a fall. Maybe I had an accident. And it may be easy for me to do it because I've done it a number of times. So मैं आँख बंद करके मेरे को रूट पता है मैं निकल जाऊंगी. लेकिन there was a first for me. Similarly, someone else it would be a first for them. And I mean, it's a test for each one in their own way. So there is no point in comparing myself to someone else. I respect all the bikers. जितना भी किया रहेगा. There are so many newbies who tell, अरे आज मैं 100 किलोमीटर राइड करके आया and मैं बहुत थक गया. So yes, but then that person took that effort to go that 100 kilometers and come back to test his or her own ability. That is worth it. So किसी को कम समझने में कोई मतलब ही नहीं होता.
नहीं, और
तो
वो बोलते भी है ना कि थोड़ा सा डर होना जरूरी है, so that you know,
absolutely,
and that is what keeps you going.
Correct. So there are two things when you can do when you're scared. Either you get scared and give up कि नहीं भाई ये नहीं हो सकता, या तो you get scared and think what can I do to get out of this situation and get out of it. So I go on to the next one. I mean the second one. I say अच्छा डर तो लगता है लेकिन जहाँ तक डर नहीं लगता वहाँ तक तो जाऊँ, फिर उसके बाद जो डर लगता है उसका सोल्यूशन देखूंगी कि क्या करना है. And anyway, we will cross the river when we come to it types.
Okay.
So that's how I do it. ये है तो challenging. मेरे को पता था ये super challenging रहने वाला है. And I was very jittery and very scared. Even the thought of it was quite scary. But because I decided I have to do this, I have to do it.
चलिए तो let's come back to the your day one of the ride. I think आपका day one जो था that was from Mumbai to Vadodara, correct?
Yeah.
And जो मुंबई से वडोदरा का आपने फर्स्ट डे, and do you by the way remember the date when exactly you started your this ride?
Yes, that was 5th of September 2021.
5th September. So Mumbai to Vadodara आपका था somewhere around roughly 450 kilometers roughly.
Yeah, somewhere around 400 odd kilometers.
So can you tell us something about your experience? How did you start? ये morning में कितने बजे आपने शुरू किया? And before that I just wanted to highlight, I believe your entire Himalayan Conquest was sponsored primarily by Primerica, which is a life insurance company, and the other sponsors were Lone Ranger and also Dominar, Bajaj Dominar.
Yeah.
So before we actually start off about your actual ride experiences, how did you reach out to these people? I understand that you are riding a Dominar bike right at this point of time. Your current bike is Dominar, और उसी पे ही आपने Himalayan Conquest किया था.
हाँ. मेरे पास 3 बाइक्स है तो I use it as and when I have to use it in the way it has to.
Okay.
So like I said, I have a Unicorn, then I have a CBR 250, and then I own this Dominar.
Domino product. So how did you approach them, or how did they approach you? How was it? I mean, for the sponsorship.
So typically till date, I have had 3 rides of mine sponsored,
Mhm.
and I don't know. Again, destiny or fate or whatever you call it plays a
Okay.
lot of role in these things for me.
Mhm.
It's like when you decide you have to do something, everything comes together and makes you do it. I forget that particular एक dialogue होता है लेकिन वो yeah that is there. So law of attraction you could say.
Okay.
I had been trying to get the sponsors since June. I pitched it in and all that. Generally, I never pitch in for my sponsors. I just say, okay, मेरे को इधर जाना है,
Mhm.
and I put it up to some friends. So इस बार मैंने सोचा चलो कुछ तो मैं करती हूँ करके. Then I
Okay.
tried, but then I and 90% तक हाँ हो गया था. Last point पे approval नहीं आया, and by that time it was like almost mid-August or something.
Mhm.
And I was not getting sponsors involved. And तो एक दिन मैंने मेरे एक फ्रेंड को भेजा कि यार ये पीपीटी में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है क्या? Why am I not getting anything around it?
Uh-huh.
तो he looked at it and like नहीं यार ये तो बहुत अच्छा बना है. And वो पीपीटी मैंने नहीं बनाया था, मेरे फ्रेंड ने बना के दिया था.
Okay.
दूसरे फ्रेंड ने.
Okay.
I have few friends who are they are very helpful to me.
Mhm.
So he said नहीं बहुत अच्छा बना है. In fact this is so refined. So I said then why am I not getting sponsors? Like maybe God doesn't wish you to move forward with it.
Yeah.
And he never tells like that. तो मैं थोड़ी और डिमोटिवेट हो गई थी. बट ऐसे ही आया दिमाग में एंड आई सेड अरे हिमालय क्या है बाबा जी बुलाएगा नहीं क्या मेरे को? एवरी ईयर मैं आती हूँ लद्दाख तक तो आ ही जाती हूँ. इस बार नहीं बुलाएगा. यू डोंट वांट मी टू कम हियर. तो एज अ आंसर within a week's time of what I spoke to him, I got a call from America.
Okay.
And they said that so and so person has said that you're doing a ride. Isn't it too late for you to start? So I said if I start by 5th of September, that is the latest that I can start. Yes, there will be problems because weather will start changing,
Yeah.
especially in Ladakh, because Himalaya is not just Ladakh.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I will face problems in Ladakh because of the changing season.
Mhm.
But yeah, I do wish to do it. I'll try how much ever I can do to finish it. So then they were like, okay, we will do it. And that was on 31st of August. I think 30th or 31st of August.
Okay.
And 5th of September I was out. So they said yes, they did all the procedures and everything. And when I went to buy, I had to buy new gears because my gears were worn out.
Yeah.
So pant nahi mil raha tha, but I got a jacket from Wildfire. There is a shop Wildfire. He has all these biking gears and all that. So I went to him and I told him that ऐसा ऐसा मैं कर रही हूँ तो bags मेरे को shoes भी लेना है तो खर्चा वर्चा ज़्यादा हो रहा है.
Mhm.
So he said let me talk to Lone Ranger guys. So he helped me get the shoes and the claw bag from Lone Rangers. They agreed
Okay.
immediately on the phone itself because he explained briefly what I'm doing and उन लोग ने हाँ बोल दिया. And then I had sent a mail to Bajaj that since I'm taking your motorcycle and I'm going to do this,
Mhm.
are you okay to give me the maintenance for this? Because the maintenance कभी कभी भारी पड़ जाता है कहीं
Yeah.
गिर गई या कुछ हो गया, and majorly why is because they know their places, I mean their service centers and all, and they can contact and get the spares there rather than me trying to go out and find कहाँ मिल रहा है क्या मिल रहा है. So mainly for that I asked them. So yeah, they didn't immediately say yes, but within a week of me starting the ride, they said yes, we are in. So I said okay, thank you. That's what happened.
You are listening to Candid Talks with BharatV.
Okay. So let's come back to the day one of your ride.
Day one of my ride was, I mean, since the start of this ride, it's been very odd things happening. I generally start by 8:30 and मैंने मेरे students को भी बोला था कि 8:30 को निकलूंगी मैं and see if you all can come for a flag off. मतलब bye बोलने के लिए आ जाओ because they were very excited. So I said come on. एंड वो टाइम पे ये लॉकडाउन भी नया नया शुरू फिर से हुआ था, जस्ट अगस्त के टाइम पे सेकेंड थर्ड वेव फोर्थ वेव, आई थिंक सेकेंड वेव ज्यादा हो गया था. एंड तो so I didn't call many people and all, and these few of my students had come to see me off. लेकिन उस दिन करके मेरा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ था, नो प्रिपरेशन, आई हैड डन नथिंग. मेरा स्टिकरिंग नहीं हुआ था बैग्स पे, जो लोगोस का स्टिकरिंग नहीं हुआ था, पैकिंग नहीं हुआ था. As in you can say I had not started at all. And by the time I finished everything, it was almost 11:30 by the time I started from my house. And फिर उसके बाद so my mom said she'll come to see me off. So my mom and my friend and another student of mine, the remaining people said bye and they went because they had to go for their own things. So इन लोग 3 लोग और मैं, हम लोग 4 लोग निकले. फिर दईसा तक पहुंचते पहुंचते करीब 1 बज गया था. तो मॉम सेड एनीवेज खाना खाना ही है, तो आई सेड ओके लंच करके निकलते हैं. फिर वी वेंट अहेड. वहाँ पे जैसे वो फाउंटेन क्रॉस किया, वहाँ पे ढाबा था, वहाँ पे खाना खाया. बाय द टाइम आई मूव्ड आउट, a real flag off. I mean, my flag off was done by my mom from here. So it was 3:30.
Wow.
So 3:30 is what that late. Never ever have I started any of my rides so late.
Okay.
So the first time ever in all these years I started my rides so late. So 3:30 I started my ride from near Fountain Hotel.
Yeah.
वहाँ से then I moved towards बड़ौदा. बीच में रुकना पड़ा. As in the usual stop for dinner. I didn't have dinner क्योंकि बड़ौदा में जिनके again a friend of mine had arranged for a stay here.
Okay.
So he said खाना वाना भी वहाँ पे सेट हो जाएगा, तो you come down. 3:30 तो पेट भरा ही था. We riders, we don't stop much for anything after that lunch. So I rode, and I was riding after a very long time. Almost the last ride I had done was in Jan 2021 when I went to run off Kutch and came back. उसके बाद मैंने कोई राइड भी नहीं किया था. No long rides, nothing. I had a lot of personal things which held me back from riding. Even going on breakfast rides भी नहीं किया था, कुछ नहीं किया था. So I didn't know how my body is going to accept such a long ride after a quite a break. I think almost 8 months का break के बाद. तो I took it slow, आराम से ride किया and all that. And by the time I reached Baroda, it was close to 10:30 or 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So night riding is not a problem. I enjoy night riding. I prefer night rides compared to day rides.
Okay.
Because the locals are less, and then you have only trucks which you signal and they will move around, move off, they'll give you place and all that. So I prefer that. So I went, I reached around 10:30, 11ish. I reached Baroda. Khana rakha tha and all that. Had a good meal, tried to rest. So it was not much of a difficult thing, but the start of it, which I had never expected it to be so late.
Yeah.
That was really a testing thing. And the usual bag अपना set नहीं होता पहले दिन. You have to set it up to adjust it. Ride करो, देखो बराबर बैठा है नहीं बैठा है.
नहीं, obviously I think वो तो आपको
during
the entire ride you have to keep on adjusting, making some adjustments.
Correct.
According to your convenience. So from Mumbai to Baroda, anyways, I believe the roads are anyways good. So road wise तो उसमें कोई problem कोई नहीं होगी. But then on this route there are a lot of heavy vehicles जो कि चलते हैं, उस पे काफी heavy traffic रहता है, trucks वगैरह का. So like as you said, आपको night ride में कभी problem कभी भी नहीं होती है. So you prefer night rides. लेकिन trucks वगैरह के साथ, because there are a lot of blind spots, for a truck driver, and it becomes very difficult for them to see अगर कोई बाइक साइड में कहीं पर है. And ऐसी सिचुएशन में सिर्फ बाइकर को ही आपको you need to make sure कि you are very much at a safer distance and you are very much in their rear view of, so that you are seen properly. तो वो और रात के टाइम में और सामने स्पेशली सामने गाड़ी से जब लाइट आँख में पड़ती है, So how did you manage all that? Do you wear any yellow glasses in the night? या फिर how is it?
No, I don't wear yellow glasses or anything. What I typically do is the way I train my people also, as in my students also. I always tell that when you should know what is a blind spot. You should know exactly कहाँ पे तुम्हारा blind spot है. And there is no big calculation to it. It's very simple. As long as you can see the driver in the rear view.
Yeah.
तो उसका rear view है, उसमें आपको उसका नजर दिख रहा है. That means you are not in a blind spot for that person. तो when I am at a good distance of say 100-200 meters, and this is for city ride, but when I'm on a longer, on a highway, when I'm good 500 meters or something off, and I decide that I have to overtake, I start signaling them. उनको flashlight, light flash करती हूँ, upper dipper जो बोलते हैं, light flash करती हूँ, अपना indicator देती हूँ कि मुझे overtake करना है, and I wait patiently for them to move.
Okay.
They move. It is not easy to move a truck aside.
Absolutely, yeah.
You have to be patient and you have to give them the time to move. Yeah. By that time I close in. Of course I close in, but I am keeping them in my sight so they can see my light. They may not see me as a biker,
Yeah.
but the light is there. तो single light है और flash हो रहा है तो उनके नजर में पहले जाता है. And by the time they are moving, I am closer to them, but I have not left my eyes, the view. And जैसे उन्होंने साइड किया वैसे मैं स्विफ्टली क्रॉस करके then I move out of their place.
Okay.
So yeah, and then it's the reverse where I can see them, their headlight, at least the headlight of the truck in my view, in my rear view mirror. That means I have taken a safe distance and I move it. So that doesn't face. हाँ, एक main problem क्या आता है कि once you cross तलासरी और मनोर, उसके बाद जो है सब ट्रक्स तीनों लाइन में चलना शुरू करता है.
Right.
तीनों लेन्स में. So it's more of a weaving that takes time rather than the traveling. Yeah. Although it's a straight road after Talasari. Yeah. लेकिन वो जो weave करके जाना पड़ता है, that takes a lot of. For that you have to
video game खेलना पड़ता है, left.
Exactly. Full video game है. Yeah. And ऐसा है कि ये truckers इन लोग signal नहीं देते and they will cross the lane. No matter you honk, no matter what you do, they don't move out.
तो आपने अपने बाइक में हॉर्न चेंज किया है या ओरिजिनल हॉर्न के साथ ही आप आए?
सब सेम है. My bike is stock. No extra lights, no bigger horns, no modified.
तो आपको कभी ये ऐसा ध्यान में नहीं है, मतलब सोचा नहीं कि भाई मुझे since I'll be riding in the night also and I'm riding alone, I need to have a extra aux light लगा लेनी चाहिए या I should have some bigger horns, power horns लगा लेने चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ? Because that really helps.
नहीं.
You are listening to CANDID Talks with BharatV.
I don't know. All these years I've never changed anything stock in my bikes. All the 3 bikes.
Okay.
Never changed anything. Everything is stock except for the carrier that I've put or the saddle stay that I've put. I have never, और मतलब जो फेंडर्स होते हैं वो डाले हैं, बट उसके अलावा मेरे गाड़ी पे कोई आपको एक्स्ट्रा लाइट, हॉर्न, कुछ भी आपको एक्स्ट्रा नहीं दिखेगा. I use, see the technique is typically आप ज्यादा भी लाइट डालोगे, 4 लाइट दिखेगा, लेकिन लाइट उतना ही जाएगा, वो जितना मीटर्स पे जाता है उतना ही हर कोई लाइट जाता है, उससे आगे नहीं जाता. The only advantage if you have 2 more extra lights is probably you can see a little wider on the road.
Right.
Not a higher not a more distance उतना ज़्यादा नहीं दिखेगा आपको, उतना ही दिखता है जितना दिखना है. So instead of putting up more things on my bike, what I do is I use the light of the vehicle that is ahead of me.
Okay.
So if it's a 4-wheeler, generally it's a 4-wheeler that I keep following. तो उसका लाइट से मुझे आगे का डिस्टेंस पता चलता है, तो आई यूज दैट लाइट टू डिसिफर के हाँ मुझे यहाँ से जाना, मतलब इसके पीछे रहना सेफ है नहीं. सेकेंडली दैट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स मी फ्रॉम द हाई बीम्स ऑफ ऑनकमिंग व्हीकल्स, बिकॉज आई एम बिहाइंड दिस व्हीकल, तो वो थोड़ा सा फिल्टर हो जाता है, मुझे नीचे से दिख जाता है कि हाँ सामने से गाड़ी आ रही है.
राइट.
एंड क्योंकि मेरे आगे जो 4 व्हीलर है तो मुझ पे वो उन लोग का जो हाई बीम है वो पूरा मेरे आंख पे नहीं आता.
सो
तो
आपने
that also
ये इस ड्यूरेशन इस फर्स्ट राइड पे अब जैसे क्योंकि आपने शुरुआती डेट हुई आपकी जैसे आपने बताया एंड आई एम श्योर दैट आपने कोई मेजर हॉल्ट तो लिया नहीं होगा जैसे आपने बोला कि रास्ते में खाने वाने
नहीं, आई जस्ट टुक अ शॉर्ट ब्रेक. एक टोल के बाद मैंने शॉर्ट ब्रेक लिया था, बट हाँ, दैट टर्न्ड आउट टू बी हाफ एन आवर ब्रेक.
तो बट ऑन एन एवरेज आपका ऐसे लॉन्ग राइड पे आप कितना लंबा ब्रेक आप टिपिकली लेते हो और एट अ स्ट्रेच हाउ मेनी किलोमीटर्स डू यू राइड एट अ सिंगल स्ट्रेच इन अ डे?
At a stretch, as far as possible, I do a tank to tank. So that may range from 300 to 350 kilometers.
Without
stretch,
taking any halt?
हाँ, without taking any halt.
Okay.
तो again that depends कि मैं कितनी थकी हुई हूँ या weather कैसा है. If it's too hot or if there is too much sunlight, तो then I of course take a break. Say after तो भी 150 किलोमीटर के बाद 150-200 किलोमीटर के बाद मैं रुकती हूँ.
Okay.
या तो कहीं पे टोल आता है या if I have to if there is a nature's call then I have to stop. Then I do that. But otherwise इतना stops नहीं लेती हूँ. And that whatever the major stop is, like so if I stop for refueling then that will be about half an hour max. Where I relax legs and all that थोड़ा आराम से. So yeah, that's what I do.
So इसमें जैसा आपने बताया you reach somewhere around 10:30-11 in the night वडोदरा. तो आप ये जो आपने पूरी जर्नी आपने करी अपनी इसको प्लान आउट कैसे किया कि मेरा day 1 my halt should be at वडोदरा या day 2 should be halt in Delhi or and so on. So and do you plan out on the physical map? आप एक मैप लेके चलते हो, कैसे आप प्लानिंग कैसे?
So the planning is मैं क्या करती हूँ कि मेजर सिटीज घूमती हूँ. जो रास्ते पे मैं जा रही हूँ, समझो मुझे यहाँ से दिल्ली जाना है. यहाँ से दिल्ली जाने के लिए 1400 किलोमीटर के आसपास होता है, 1200 या समवेयर अराउंड 1300 किलोमीटर समझो. तो मैं प्लान करती हूँ यहाँ से मेजर सिटीज क्या आएंगे, व्हाट इज हाउ शुड आई गो. आपको अभी तो गूगल मैप है, but even when there was no Google map also, so major map में देख लेते थे मेजर सिटीज कहाँ पे है. then major cities में whether so it will show a city but it is not necessary that I'll get something to stay over there. Yeah, I'll get good things. तो वो मैं देख लेती हूँ कि वहाँ पे कुछ रहने के लिए मिल रहा है या are there anything on the highway where I could stop over या how. And if it is like a state highway or something which I have to cross, so यहाँ से when I go Baroda से then I have to go towards Godhra. State highway से निकल के then I have to go towards Udaipur. तो वो थोड़ा dicey हो जाता है because on the state highways you will not always get eateries or you won't get places to stay. तो उसके पहले stop करना है तो उसके बाद stop करना है. तो अभी यहाँ से बड़ौदा is about 400 kilometers. उसके बाद अगला स्टॉप विल बी एट उदयपुर. उसके बीच में मुझे कुछ खास मिलने वाला नहीं. तो वडोदरा से उदयपुर जाना था 300 odd किलोमीटर्स. तो इसके बीच में जब रुकने नहीं मिलने वाला है तो आई कैन नॉट ट्रैवर्स 300 प्लस, सो आई विल स्टॉप बिफोर दैट. तो इवन अगले दिन मेरे को थोड़ा ज्यादा किलोमीटर्स करना है, दैट इज ओके, बट पहले दिन मैं स्टॉप कर लूंगी where I can get good place. So that is how I typically plan. So similarly Udaipur अभी बड़ौदा से उदयपुर is only 300 kilometers. 300 kilometers के आगे जाके अगर मुझे ब्यावर में कुछ मिल रहा है या कहीं समझो जयपुर नहीं पहुंच सकती लेकिन बीच में कहीं और मिल रहा है तो I will go accordingly and stay. Also I also keep a contingency कि अगर कुछ नहीं मिला तो क्या करना है. Like you're on the way and suddenly ब्रेकडाउन हुआ या सडनली कोई भी सिचुएशन की वजह से कुछ हो गया, हाउ विल यू रीच आउट टू पीपल और हाउ विल यू फाइंड इफ देयर इज समथिंग और अदर. सो व्हाट आई डू इज आई create a WhatsApp group where I have my coordinator plus all the people who have sponsored me or anything. एक या दो बंदा whoever they say they are there, and I inform them कि मैं यहाँ से यहाँ पहुंची हूँ. Wherever I take a break, I drop a message. I've reached from here to here, here to here. Approximate I should reach this place within this much time. If you don't hear from me, you have to call me or you have to check on me.
Okay.
तो ये coordination रखती हूँ मैं. तो अगर कुछ हो गया तो I tell them please search for something around that place and keep कि अगर मैं नहीं पहुंच रही हूँ कहीं पे तो I will not get stuck. If I get stuck, then of course it's not that everything is done by them.
Yeah.
मैं खुद भी देखती हूँ, क्या करती हूँ कि बड़ा सा कोई होटल या ये अपना पेट्रोल पंप आ जाता है, वहां पे रुक के पूछ लेती हूँ यहाँ पे कुछ है रहने के लिए, यहाँ पे कुछ खाने के लिए अच्छा मिलता है, या यहाँ से शहर या जहाँ पे मुझे रुकने के लिए मिलेगा वो कितना दूर है, whether it is safe to travel that length. So all these things I ask, and I have learned to be upfront in talking to people,
Okay.
not fear them.
Hmm.
So if you fear, it is shown, and people may not tell you the correct answer, or you may have someone else who can take advantage of you. But if you are open, you are upfront, and you ask them in a firm tone, firm and nice tone, not the not an attitude wala thing. So you ask them in a nice way कि भाई साहब यहाँ पे कुछ रहने के लिए है क्या, या यहाँ पे कुछ खाने के लिए कुछ अच्छा मिल जाएगा, चाय मिल जाएगी, they help you out. So I don't have a problem. It's just that you should have faith कि हाँ जो होगा.
So do you carry tents also with you? साथ में आप टेंट लेके चलते हो कि कहीं अगर जरूरत पड़ी लगाने की, कुछ नहीं मिला तो?
I don't know. पेट्रोल पंप से कुछ ना कुछ मिल ही जाएगा.
बट अगर मान लो कोई जा रहा है ऐसे, एंड व्हाट डू यू सजेस्ट, तुमको क्या सजेस्ट करोगे कि दे शुड कैरी द टेंट्स, और अगर लेके जाते हैं तो कहाँ, जैसे पेट्रोल पंप वगैरह पे कहीं लगा के, इज इट सेफ एनफ टू स्टे ओवरनाइट पेट्रोल पंप पे टेंट लगा के और वहाँ सोना?
See, it is safe. At least till date, I have not had a problem in a number of travels that I've done. I've slept in petrol pumps. I've slept on a dhaba ka charpai. I've slept in school bus. I've slept at an emergency zone, जहाँ पे there are emergency vehicles only kept there. तो काफी सारे जगह पे मैं रुक के सोई हूँ. मैं तो बाइक पे खड़े खड़े सो जाती हूँ रास्ते पे. I typically in the afternoons, whether you have a meal or no, वो धूप के वजह से थोड़ा सा एक नींद सा आता है, too much of concentration. So I just park my bike, stand लगाती हूँ और बाइक से उतरती भी नहीं हूँ, बाइक पे बैठ के सो जाती हूँ. I do these things. So it's like a power nap that I do.
तो आपने okay. सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट, आपने जो ये प्रिपरेशन करी होगी इस एंटायर ट्रिप के लिए, अब जैसे टिपिकली हम लॉन्ग राइड पे जाते हैं तो ईदर सोलो और मे बी इन अ ग्रुप, तो वी नीड टू मेक श्योर कि हम लोग साथ में कुछ बेसिक टूल्स साथ में लेके जाएं, बेसिक कम्युनिकेशन डिवाइसेस लेके जाएं, और सेल्फ डिफेंस के लिए कुछ साथ में लेके जाएं, या से मैप्स वगैरह के लिए, या फिर योर ब्लूटूथ एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ. तो आप साथ में ऐसे आपने क्या क्या डिवाइसेस, ऐसे क्या प्रिपरेशन किया था इस राइड के लिए?
फॉर दिस राइड, ट्रस्ट मी, आई वाज टोटली अनप्रिपेयर्ड. मैंने एक भी टूल नहीं लिया था हाथ में, एक भी नहीं.
ओके.
जो किट रहता है बाइक पे वही था, और कोई टूल किट नहीं लिया था मैंने.
ओके.
हाँ, लिया था एक एलन की का सेट लिया था बस.
ओके.
That's what I had kept with me. That's about it. I didn't pick up any tools. But generally, yeah, I sometimes I keep clutch cable, air pump, and थोड़े बहुत वो जो chain tight करने वाला पाना. बस वो थोड़ा ही रखती हूँ. I don't carry too much with me. जरूरत नहीं पड़ता है. You get people around it. So I believe in my instincts. And I have to know my bike so I know how much I can push it, no matter what happens to it.
Right.
So this happens with experience when you trust your own self and when you trust your bike. So it never lets you down. So this trip, yes, I didn't take any tools. Generally, self-defense के लिए I mentally prepare myself कि कुछ हुआ तो क्या करना चाहिए. I have done basic first aid course. I have been I've done firefighting. I was in the NCC and all. So over a period of time, again, like I said, experience counts. And I've done some a little bit of self defense course. 4-5 को लात मार सकती हूँ बस इतना कर सकती हूँ.
You are listening to Candid Talks with BharatV.
So yeah, it's more of presence of mind when you get into a difficult situation. That helps more than any technique that you would need. बहुत चीजें बातों से टाल सकते हो, rather than getting physically involved. So for self defense, I carry a small knife, pen knife, जिससे मैंने आज तक सिर्फ सेब काटे. तो that's about it that I keep with myself. But then one self defense lesson for anyone, everyone is you have everything within yourself to save yourself. So जो भी आपके हाथ में है वो आपका हथियार है. You can use anything to save yourself. You just need to have that presence of mind to save yourself. Okay. Yeah, that was it.
So वडोदरा पहुंच के obviously then next day आपने वडोदरा से शुरू किया राइड और you stayed over in वडोदरा.
वडोदरा से I went up to I didn't reach Byawar. I reached before that. I forget the name. But yeah, I had crossed Udaipur and went ahead from there.
Okay. So that was the second day.
Yeah, that was my second day.
Okay.
But on the way, I mean, Baroda तक पहुंच रही थी there. I stopped after a toll plaza. वहाँ पे I met few people and all that. It was so fun, so much fun to meet people. And there was this whole group of ladies who had come with their family. And initially they were in two minds whether to talk to this person or whether not to talk to this person. And then the men they talked to their husbands and all, and then they were kind of gossiping in a little louder tone so that I could hear and say something to them and all that. So then I just casually told them it's nothing difficult. I'm just going up to Baroda. So then they started talking.
Were you carrying some sort of message while you were doing this ride? कुछ social cause के साथ आप ये ride कर रहे थे या it was just for self,
So typically मैं जब भी ride करती हूँ ना, मेरा एक सबसे बड़ा aim है कि अपना देश देखो. If you are not visiting your own country, if you're not seeing your own country, what are you going to spread across to other people? So I promote India's tourism wherever I go. I talk about the places that I've gone, in my own way. There is no specific videos बनाओ इस जगह का ही ऐसा अच्छा सा फोटोग्राफी लो, वो सब नहीं. जैसे मैं देखती हूँ मैं वैसे प्रेजेंट करती हूँ. It is up to you how you perceive it, and if you want to visit, you can go and visit. But yeah, in my own small little way, I promote India's tourism. And there was another thing was, I was, since America had sponsored me, I was also visiting these defense personals and armed forces people and all that. Because America basically, they ensure lives of the armed forces people.
It is not
it's
for
not
the
for
common
civilians. No, it's not for civilians. So I had this opportunity to meet quite a few people from the armed forces and all that, and talk to them, talk to them about the importance of insurance and how one should keep ourselves, prepared for whatever might happen in the future. So yes, that was the thing. No, I don't take up any special cause, because until and unless I am not going to be at it, or rather what I would say is spend enough time to make a difference, it's no use causing taking up that cause. So even if I say road safety, until and unless I do not go and spend time with the people, change their mind to get that positive thing out, it's no use carrying a placard and saying wear a helmet, you will be safe. I have to explain how to wear a helmet. What is
By
the
the way,
use of
कौन सा
wearing
helmet आपने use किया था इस ride पे?
empty.
Empty.
And trust me, it saved me. I am alive because of it. So
Okay, so did something happen during this ride?
Yeah, I met with a major accident due to which my tour was, it came to a breaking halt or a screeching halt.
चलिए उसके बारे में बात करेंगे
later.
In detail later. So thank you so much, Shilpa, for taking out time and joining us today on this show and share your experiences about the riding, how you came into riding, and how you started this entire expedition of Himalayan Conquest. So thank you so much for sharing that, and we will keep continuing discussing about your experiences और जानेंगे आपके आगे आने वाले दिनों के राइड्स के बारे में. It's a 90-day long ride, so there are a lot of things which we have to discuss and understand from you, and जानेंगे आपके entire journey के बारे में, कहाँ आपने कैसे challenges को overcome किया, and obviously जो आपका accident हुआ था उसके बारे में भी, and I hope you are doing well now and you have fully recovered.
Yeah, I wouldn't say fully recovered. I'm still in the recovery mode. Okay. Because after coming back from the tour, I haven't had time to take care of myself due to a lot of personal reasons. Okay. But yeah, now I'm curing myself.
In between, you also went through some personal trauma and some personal, so that also we'll talk about in due course of time, so that our listeners are aware of that कि आप किन मुश्किल हालातों से गुजरे हो. So take care, Shilpa, and all the very best to you for all your upcoming endeavors.
Thank you very much for helping me put my series through of 90 days of ride. I hope people listening to us will definitely learn something, and I don't know if they would try to do something like this, but yeah, any bits and parts of things done, I think it's always a positive thing.
No, I think definitely there will be many women riders who will, anyways, आजकल तो वैसे भी बहुत women riders, they are coming up and doing the rides, and I'm sure जो हमारे listeners हैं वो सुनेंगे आपके इस podcast को, आपके experience के बारे में, and I think it will definitely motivate them, and not just motivate them, I think it will help them to understand what all they need to be prepared about while taking up any such long rides. क्या उनको करना चाहिए, क्या प्रिपरेशन करनी चाहिए, जो हम आगे आपके एक्सपीरियंसेस के बेसिस पे उनको बताने की कोशिश करेंगे, and I'm sure definitely this is going to help them for sure. So once again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
So that was Shilpa Balakrishnan, the female solo biker from Mumbai, who attempted the 90 days long Trans-Himalayan Conquest ride on her Domina bike in 2021.
If you like the show, please do like, subscribe and share with others. If listening on Apple Podcast, do not forget to rate 5 stars. If on Spotify or YouTube, do not forget to subscribe and share. All the bikers can listen to this podcast episode on bikersclub.in.
इसके साथ हम आज का सफर यहीं समाप्त करते हैं. बातों का सिलसिला जारी रहेगा with Shilpa Balakrishnan in our next episode of the podcast series Himalayan Conquest 2021, only on Candid Talks with BharatV. Stay home, stay safe. This is Bharat Vatsa signing off for today. दुआओं में याद रखना. जय हिंद.
You are listening to Candid Talks with BharatV.